That's not what we want. Let's see here. Oh, I need to open the, I see what you're saying.
Jocelyn, I didn't hear him.
Sisters come up.
Now if I go,
I know, hopefully not this time.
Tony, when's the first Baylor game?
I think we're end of August. I'm not sure. We're probably playing a cakewalk type deal, you know.
That's okay, you need a few of those. Chelsea,
Yeah.
raise that volume.
I raised it to the max and I raised the TV volume and it's still,
Okay.
still loud.
Am I gonna need just
You're coming in low.
It's either.
let me try not using my headphones and just speak into the thing. Let me see if that works.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah.
I'll put it on high here and I'll just make sure I speak loud enough. And now I got to figure out this PowerPoint thing. Hold on.
Okay.
So if I open it, then I can share it. Is that the way it works? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
You open it and then when you hit the share button, it will ask you which window you want to share.
Okay.
So then you just select the PowerPoint.
No, not me.
First name.
No, look at the phone number.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, somebody stole your number, your information.
Did that happen today?
Yeah, I just went out.
Oh,
With the gift card.
Well, this whole week's been kind of.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Monday was just because it was like. It's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Not like you.
Yeah.
I will never ask for a gift card. Never.
I think I got it. Let's see here if this.
Silent auction.
Yeah, we can see it. So now you just want to hit play. Okay, you're on.
Oh, good.
No.
Now I got to figure out how.
No.
But you know,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, just Crystal and Trey came by.
So 4:15.
And Chris. And
Yeah.
Blake, so he's fourth place.
Yeah.
Mike, did you figure out Austin or Hawaii yet?
Good guy.
For Mega Agent Camp,
Yeah.
figure out what?
Oh, you're thinking about going there or to the Elite Week in Hawaii?
No, I'm going to Mega Camp.
Oh, good. Good.
I'm actually going Sunday night to go to the Monday Gary's thing on Monday.
That's great. I love it. Good, good, good. We're only 3 weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty soon. I'm ready. I'm looking in the weather to make sure it's back down to 80 degrees in Austin in August.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's 105 here today with humidity in Dallas.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Libby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. I don't see her on the Zoom either.
Babysit the grandkids.
Hmm.
You know, we were playing it in the game.
College student. And that's one of the teams we played yesterday in the field. So,
Oh, is it the same team? Oh, okay.
so hopefully
You'll be there.
you two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Are we really good?
That's pretty good.
Okay, so we know how to, because I don't want to. Make rules.
No, we're decent. I mean, better than last year. So I think it's helpful 'cause, well, no, not necessarily. I would say like, Zach, he looks like Christian, whatever it is.
I think
He's
I'm
a
right.
pitcher.
Mhm.
And that's.
Important.
And he's good.
No, go.
Troy is good. Allie is good.
What the ones that-
I mean, the only ones who are good, actually, Raven is good.
Mhm.
So, you know, you put them all together, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, for-
no, I know. It's pretty. So,
So I got scammed again.
Again, sir, do you want to send out another message?
Yeah. Try to send them out sooner the better.
Sooner the better. Okay.
I just told Chelsea, but somebody responded and this guy saying, quick, can you plug the grocery store again?
Glasses right here.
Same,
You
same
guys.
deal.
Yeah, let's send something out.
Okay, I'll do it in the next 20, 55 minutes. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Jason, just that one. No, no, you got one. Okay, that's-
Yeah, I do.
I'll send it out. Chelsea, I'll do it for my email.
Oh.
It's great.
Michael never.
I was actually. Oh, yeah, that's respectable.
Mike, you tell me when you think I should go.
Give us one more minute, okay? We got people that are grabbing their pizza and coming here.
Oh, perfect. Pizza party. I love it. Yeah, I'll wait. I'm good.
Is it over?
Tomorrow, so I have one for one. And you can show up out of the 10. It's basically like. The first game's at 10, when we play like right after the first team. If we lose, we play at 12:30. So either way.
Hang out, I don't think, like, use it all year.
Oh.
Tony, why don't you get started? We're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a group in there in the Campbell office. Is that what that is? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. All right. Thank you all for being here. I know we got a couple people online as well. And I want to keep this will probably be just a 30-45 minute dialogue conversation. And when Mike, I met with him 2 or 3 weeks ago, he asked, or a while ago, asked if I could do this, and I'm happy to do it. And my goal here today is to kind of go through the model of profit share and building wealth and the opportunity in Keller Williams. But also more importantly, I think leave there with an action plan. Leave there with some things that you can do to help change your wealth for you, your family, the people you love, that represent. And I think we have a big opportunity. And before we get into that, I want to give a quick state of the company, Mike, if that's okay, just where Keller Williams is today. And I think there's some stats in here you can always use to take your unfair share. We just had our July transmittal, and as y'all, most of you know, Keller Williams has been the #1 company in the United States and Canada for quite some time now, and we're still growing. Grew again last month. USA and Canada, we're now at 177,000 agents strong. In the United States and Canada, by far the largest in agent count, volume, production, etc. We also now sell real estate in 52 countries in the world. 52 countries. So we have franchises there. We are the company now is about 800 offices in the United States and Canada, with an average about 230, 240 agents per office. We're growing. Some other numbers I think it's kind of important to just look at. About 60 to 70.
Uh-oh. Tony, you froze on us.
Just every once in a while. Mike, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, sorry. It does it every 45 minutes or so. About 60 to 70,000 agents join Keller Williams every single year. And what's really cool, and that's historically in the last 5 to 7 years, everybody in this room, in this class, in this company has that same opportunity to attract. And we're going to spend some time on that. Closed units. We're on pace this year to do about 1.4 million closed units in the United States and Canada, with a volume of $600 billion, which is real exciting. But the number we really want to talk about today in terms of your opportunity is last year, Keller Williams profit shared $200 million back to the agents, no matter where you represent, no matter where your license is, as a thank you for being part of this company and referring great agents. And I think y'all would agree, and Mike, I know you would, building wealth takes time. The building wealth, and I look at profit share as a vehicle to help you, 1, increase your net worth, 2, get cash flow without any risk, liability, but also culturally and how sound that is when you're a company where you're in open books, you share profits, you share decisions. There's so many cool things about it. And I look at it as endorsement money. And I'll give you some scripts today that I can share that I think will help you set up your leadership team to attract great talent. Mike, is there anything else we want to talk about today? I'm going to hit just the fundamentals of profit share, but more leave into some action items and how can we attract great, talented new agents, but also those producers in your local market that would benefit from our culture.
I think that's great, Tony, if you could cover those.
Okay, so I will say this, and Mike, I think we talked about this. We're in a shift, and it's happened. Like, it happened pretty fast, and it hit. And the biggest transformation of wealth always occurs in real estate shifts. This is my 2nd or 3rd big one I've been involved in. Mike, how many have you? You've probably seen a few, right? Like, it's pretty predictable what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to have a shift, or things can't keep on continuing upward or downward without some adjustment.
Right now, team, listen, I want y'all to think about this. the NAR has about 1.5 million real estate agents. In the last shift, it went down to 800,000. Now, here's the thing, the market's the market. And those who choose or run this class in terms of your business and lead generation, there's more wealth transitioned in any other in America and in the world and net worth when there's a shift. So I look at that as you have two options, right? You either run towards it and you take advantage of it, because agents on this call and associates, those who choose to implement the lead generation strategies, the Keller Williams systems, play all in, when you get out of that shift, you will not relinquish any market that you gain. Any market share that you gain in this moment moving forward for the next however long this shift is, your wealth coming out of it when the market comes back will be in direct proportion to it. So I look at it as people are going to come in the industry, they're going to get out. Those who choose to stick with it and principles and focus on the main thing, you have a massive opportunity to earn some income and some wealth and really, really take some territory. The second thing I want to add is, and Mike, I think we discussed this too. I think this is just collectively, and you're seeing the region do it, the Northern Cal, Hawaii, and now we got Mega Camp, is the importance of y'all community and coming back and doing training events and getting live together and creating experiences. We're on the back end of COVID, right? And I know people have different thoughts on it, but my point is we need to train and coach and consult and create energy, because most real estate agents, no matter what their profile is, they desire community and connection. So I want y'all to think about what else can you do or help Mike and the leadership teams and the market centers to create massive energy to attract great people. Mike, we talked about that. You agreed with that. And I think that's a really important thing, especially in our model, where the last few years, people have been at home, everything, and they're craving to come back to a place and learn from other people and connect and things like that. Mike, you agree with that, right?
Oh yeah, we need to get more events on a local level. Besides the team meeting, getting more people in the team meeting, besides the education coming in, we try to have fun doing it and seeing everyone together.
Yeah, so just keep thinking about it. Help Mike with ideas and things, and those who are in this room or in this class today, be thinking about events or ideas and get creative that would attract other people, other agents to come and be a part of that, because that's our secret sauce. That's what built our company, and I think we have an opportunity to do that. You're going to see that on a regional mega camp. As you know, there'll be 10,000 agents excited to be there. So to me, it's a great opportunity. Okay. So here's what I'm going to quickly cover. What is profit share? How does it work? What's your plan? How does it grow? Your tree. We'll talk a little bit cash flow, and then and kind of leave here with a plan. Here's what I want you all to think about. And this is when Gary Keller says, when you receive your first profit share check, it is by far, in terms of time on task, the biggest thing you can do for your family in terms of passive income, and also for your personal net worth. And what he's saying is, yes, in the price points you play with in the San Jose area and in those markets, yes, they're big commissions. And this is a system or a model or just a little bit of a focus of creating mailbox money that can lead to more mailbox money without the financial risk, no legal risk or responsibility, no down payment, and no management responsibilities or phone calls, etc. So literally, if you've received profit share before, that first check you receive is an infinity return on investment, because it doesn't cost you anything to be involved in it. We don't have to worry about the stocks. We don't have to worry about mutual funds. We don't have to any of those games. It's a passive net worth dialogue, and it's a cash flow stream. The way I look at this is, think of owning a Keller. You're an owner or a partner in a Keller Williams franchise without any of this junk, any of the legal stuff that as regional or a market center owners or investors have to play with. Basically, 50% and Mike's know roughly it's 48% of the monthly, what would be owner profits at any other real estate company goes to a pool and is distributed back to the agents as a thank you who qualify for profit share. If anybody has a questions, to stop me as I go through this or put it in the chat and I'll make sure I address it. Okay. Or you can rate, just, you can interfere. That's fine. So who benefits? I think this is where the team concept comes in, and especially your team in all your offices down there is one, when somebody joins your camp, obviously it's you and your family, you have passive income. That's willable. Your market center wins. And I think this is important to say. So when somebody joins any Keller Williams office, whether it's your office or not, everybody in the company wins. If it happens to join the market center you're part of, whether they're in your down or profit share tree or not, what happens there? You have more market share. You're going to have more production. That gives the market center more vehicles to hire more staff, more value to do more things because you're growing, and the profit share pool is bigger. So having this collaboration when your market center recognizes people who joined that office, and we celebrate, who there's one, everybody in the office wins. And that's a model that's a cultural difference between other copycat models or some form of it, where some models, they take money off the top that would be commission splits to other agents. Instead, this is the owners of the Keller Williams franchise are sharing half their profits to the agents as a thank you. And it creates this model where everybody celebrates and wins. And this is why Gary created this, because when you have that, when you share profits, you open the books, you share your decisions through the ALC, and you share your financials. So it's a culturally just awesome sound benefit when somebody joins. Okay. Who is in the profit share system? So I have these, hold on, let me see here. I see like the names over here and I'm trying to hide. So it says it's on, okay. Hold on one second. You and every person within Keller Williams, right? We talked about that. And how does it work? So I like to try to keep this as simple as we can, right? Really, three things happen. And it's these first three things for you to receive this check, because I get asked this a lot, like, when do I get paid? How does it work? First thing, somebody has to join a Keller Williams office and they name you as a sponsor. Now, anywhere we have a Keller Williams market center in the United States and also worldwide. Worldwide is calculated a little bit different. It's based off the franchise fee or the royalty. It's an uncapped royalty, and it's a little bit different model. But let's just talk about the United States and Canada for today. They name you as a sponsor. Now, anywhere they join. So when you're lead generating every day, and I think this is important to understand, Gary says top producers, if you want to be the top producer in income and net worth in the real estate game, it's a lead gen of 2 to 3 hours every single day. And what we recommend is if you took 5 or 10 minutes and when you call your database, you just ask that separate question. Hey, who do you know is looking for an opportunity, or who do you know is maybe looking to get into real estate? And if they have a friend, a cousin, a relative, or whatever that looks like anywhere in the United States or Canada, and they join, that's step one. The good news is we are in every major market and with the 800 offices across the United States and Canada. 2, they pay company dollars. So, well, let me go back. When the team leaders are when they're recruiting, or the productivity coach, when they're attracting agents to the office, they always ask the question, who is the person most responsible for you to join today? It's not your best friend or who's going to train you. Why are you here? Who brought you to the table? And in most cases, Mike, you probably agree, it's somebody who brought them to a training event or an experience that says, you know what, this person, I have a relationship, they brought me here, that's who I'm going to name. It's really important, team, like if you have referrals, to work with your team leader throughout the whole process, because it's always up to the agent who joins who they pick as their sponsor, and do your part to make sure that relationship and you're bringing them to the events and following up. 2, they have to produce. I think you would all agree it'd be silly to share profits of the office or profit sharing if an agent comes in, they don't produce. Well, what we find is most of our agents do produce. We have the systems, the model. That's what we're known for, is a training education system. And if we can plug them into the Ignites, the Bolds, the stuff, our goal are culturally right things to get them in production as fast as possible. The third thing is that office where that agent joins has to make money. 96 to 98% of our offices historically every single year are profitable. So the one I see most of you are in right now is one of our top offices in Northern Cal, Hawaii. Your Campbell market, that's a great market center. All three of us are really good. So when they join that office, there will be profit or any of the profits to share back to the agents. And then so those three things happen. When that happens, you'll receive a check on the 21st of the following month. And it's automatically deposited into your account. A lot of people have fun with that. They'll do profit share parties or days or celebrate on their team meetings. I like this special note. You're not getting a portion of the associate's commission. It's the owner profits. It's the profits from the owners that are sharing back to the agents. Vesting. This was changed. I thought it was pretty cool how Keller Williams did this. If you've been with Keller Williams prior to April 21st, 2020, and you've been with the company if you had joined prior to that and you've been in the company for 3 years at least in one day, you're vested for life. Meaning you could leave Keller Williams, leave the industry, and you will always receive that profit share tree or that profit share. You can also continue to refer and sponsor agents, which is cool. So you can keep on building this asset. And it's a way to kind of reward loyalty. What happened was 2 years ago, every single year we have an IALC meeting at our conventions, and the agents decided to change this model, which is really culturally sound, right? When you're privately held and you're an agent-centric company, you can make decisions. So this did not come from Gary or KWRI or whoever. It's just like, hey, let's take a vote. And what they decided, they said it now, if you join April 1st or later than 2020, as long as you are the company for at least 7 years in a day, then you're vested. But look at this piece down here. For those associates who choose to return to Keller Williams within 6 months of moving to a completing brand, their vesting period will reset to reflect their prior vesting date and downline. What's really cool on that is we're seeing a lot of that happen now. They leave and they come straight back, and that protects them in the profit share system. You can will your profit share to a beneficiary. So it's an asset that continues to keep on going. I think at the beginning of the year, to keep that, you just got to pay a one-time fee of $25 to keep you in the system. But it's a net worth asset that carries on for you and your family, which is pretty cool to set that up. And then you have reports. You have access to all the profit share reports on mykw.com, profit share folder under reports. So before I move on, does anybody have any clarity questions or making sure you understand? I think the most important thing here is these first three, because that's when you have the opportunity. They name you as a sponsor anywhere in the world, or the United States and Canada as well. They produce, and that office where that agent produces is making money. Any questions on that? Mike, I can't see everybody in the room. We good?
We're good.
Keep going? Okay. All right. So we'll talk about this at the end, just kind of how to build your passive, have a plan. Here's just kind of a video or a visual of how it grows, right? So when you join the company, you have a sponsor, okay? And that's called your sponsoring agent. And then, so you have your sponsor, and then they have a sponsor. And at the end of the day, it turns into like a 7-level profit share tree or system. Here's how it works. And we did a study. This was Mo Anderson. Some of you may know who that is. Some may not, but she's the vice chairman of the board. She used to be the CEO. She's an owner of Keller Williams. She used to be the president, CEO. She's kind of the cultural icon in our company. Every year at family reunion, she does the inspirational brunch, and she's just a legend. Oklahoma Hall of Fame, female, all that stuff. And she did a study a few years ago, and she said she took all the people who have at least 15 people in their first level tree. First level, okay? That means they've attracted or influenced, and they've had 15 people. And she said the study, the white paper came out that said the average passive income and profit share just on those 15 people in 2015 was $50,000. So where my head goes with that is, okay, building wealth takes time. You can you want to build it solid. It takes time on task over time. But imagine if you can 3 years from now, team, you could just go influence 5 people a year. That's less than one every single over the month. And you could go 5 years, you would have that 15 level. And profit share back then wasn't as significant as it is today. I think as the market shifts, you're going to have a lot of people looking to make a move. They're going to need your help. So now's the time to collect. But imagine in 3 years from now, you could have 15 people on your first level. And we have this saying in profit share, if you build it wide, it naturally goes deep. And I can share you examples after examples. If you look at some, I mean, the McKissick's makes $1.8 million a year, husband-wife team out of North Texas, a year in profit share. My guess is they don't have much more than 10 or 15 people on their first level. The number one individual profit share in their system has 15 people on his first level. The guy who recruited him has 2, but he got the right person, and they're making over $1 million a year, around $1 million in profit share alone. Because what happens is over time, it takes a life of its own. So somebody on level 1 goes influences on level 2. Level 3, they go open up an office in Keller Williams, Jamaica, or in an area in the United States, or they go hire a great regional new operating partner or team leader, or they go, somebody in level 3 attracts, who you have no idea, attracts the number 1 agent in local market and brings over 10 or 15 people. My point is, you can't stop this train or this influence or this energy if you tried. And you don't want to. You don't want to try, because it just takes a life of its own. The other best practice I've seen this too is you're not responsible for helping your level 1 recruit or attract talent or produce. But imagine if you did a once or twice a year, a mastermind or a Zoom call, or you all met at a regional event or a training event, and you mastermind on best practices to attract great people, or you pour into them. Because what I found is, when I started my first profit share check, was like, I think it was $27. And I was a 25-year-old kid, brand new in real estate. And I attracted this new agent. His first deal was like a rental property or something. And it was like a 27, but I was more excited. I was more excited about that $27 more than any other income I've earned, because it got me thinking about how wealth is built, or passive income. And then it just takes off from there. So I want y'all to think, step 1, if I'll leave you an action item, between now and the end of the year, how many people are you going to commit to your first level? We have 5 months left in the year. I would challenge each of you to do at least 3. Work with your market center leadership. Who's attracting talent? Your team leader, future team leader, like whatever that looks like. Get a commitment and get a plan and calendar it. My biggest advice on that would be, one of my favorite bold laws, and I used to be so entrepreneur, but now I really live by, if it's not on my calendar, and just commit to it doesn't exist. And when you're lead gen, if you just take 5 to 10 minutes of calling a friend or a co-op agent, or asking your current database, who do you know that's currently getting their license? As you know, we have what we call K-Score. I mean, you may or may not know, we have a free real estate school. Awesome way to get new talent. We have free prep classes for them to get people into our system. Focus on the first level, and good things will happen. I want to pause here. Any other thoughts, questions on it goes 7 levels deep? What I find though, as you build this and you start focusing on that first level, over time, you're actually going to make more passive income and wealth on level 6 and 7. Because it's like, think of it as building a team. It's your leverage piece. It just kind of happens naturally. Honestly, level 1 takes focus. It takes a commitment. It takes relationships. You really just can't wing it. You got to have an action plan to go get in business with good new talent or experienced.
Tony,
Do you have any questions in the room?
I got one, Tony, kind of a comment, and I've been associated with KW for 20 years now. And every year, starting in 2002, when we first opened this office and I joined Keller Williams, a year later, talking to someone, an outside agent, I got the same thing that I get even today. Well, this profit sharing worked for the good old days and not now. And it's such a misconception for people thinking that they can't start now to build their downline. It's unbelievable. Some of the top downline people have created in the last 5 years than 20 or 30 years ago.
Mike, I could not agree more. Like back in the days of the Keller Who days, that was a lot more challenging to build profit share. And that's when we were like, they call us Sherwin-Williams, Keller Who, and honestly, that's the profit share checks just weren't as big. Now we're number one. Everyone knows us. We're the number one real estate company in the world by far, in the United States and Canada. And the profit sharing is a lot more significant today than it was back in those days. So I agree with you. And I've heard Gary say, he says it on stage all the time. He goes, the number one profit share earner in a company still has not joined us yet. And what's cool is we all have that same opportunity to go find he or she, right? To go influence that. So Mike, thank you for bringing that up. I agree. It's way more obvious, bigger than it is back in the early days. Any other comments or questions on before I move on? Okay, we'll go about 10 or 15. I'll get some ahas, or then we'll just, I want to make sure y'all leave here. So I like this slide here because it's all about relating, referring. I don't like the word recruit. I'd cross that out and put the word attract. We got to relate. You got to have the relationship. We got to refer, and then we got to attract. Let's talk now about, some of the best. I think there's three great ways to attract experienced agents. Number one is co-op agents. If you took your past agents or agents you have friends with in the local community, and I think now more than ever is to email or mail them or go meet with them, even better, and give them a copy of the shift book. This group right here, if you became a real estate MREA shift coaching and consulting mastermind team and inviting good, talented people to these masterminds and events, I believe is the biggest opportunity now to build wealth and get your unfair share. Those shift tactics are more relative to, they're relative as just today as they were back then. It's the same mindset and concepts to get that. They need that help. So if you don't have a copy of shift, I would go order 5 to 10 and then go have coffee, get to know them, and build a relationship and mastermind around that model and inviting to that. We just committed in September. Mike, you were at the regional meeting a few weeks ago. We had that gal do the shift class or the one thing. She's coming out in September in your area. So we're going to have a big regional event, and that's going to be a huge opportunity to attract some people. Refer, like agents, you're not recruiters. Our team leaders, our market center leadership, our PCs, they know the systems and models. Mike knows, so refer great people, bring them to the table, have that relationship. The other thing I would use in addition to shift books and MREA is if you haven't had a chance to order the KPA is our own behavioral assessment. It's a 10-minute assessment. It's a great way for you to understand your natural behavior and then sharing that to your friends in the industry. Who they are, self-discover, what makes them tick, what are their strengths, add value by coaching them through behavioral style. Talk to your local leadership if you got any thoughts or opportunities on that. And then the third thing is to bring people to training events, regional events, market center events. You all need to create some energy and invite. The two biggest in terms of attracting producing agents is our family reunion, which is our national convention and mega camp. So if you got a friend, bring them down to Austin, do whatever it takes and let them experience us on a national level. We have about an 80% closing capture rate when people come to one of our national conventions. Okay, now let's talk about newer agents. I just like the question, I think anytime you're out shopping in the mall or you're at the local bar or restaurant, I always ask the waiter or waitress and I compliment them and say, hey, have you ever considered a career in real estate? And I promise you 50% of the time they either have or currently get their license or their brother or sister is in this real estate school right now, or their best friend across the street, whatever that looks like. Any salesperson, if they're helping you shop at Nordstrom's or Macy's or whatever your cup of tea is there, always ask that question. A great script I use to build my downline in terms of new talent is I'll leave you with this on the new agents is compliment them and say, hey, you did a great job in helping me today. Would you be okay if I sent your boss or your supervisor a handwritten note and letting them know what a good job you did serving me today? What's their response going to be? Always yes, right? So, oh, I love that. So you get their business card, you get their boss's business card, you send them a note, you get her card, you send a follow-up note. And in one conversation, you've added 2 people to your real estate database. And then you ask that person, hey, have you ever considered a career in real estate or do you know anybody? So you compliment, you reward, you add 2 people to your sales database, and you're either going to, which could lead to referrals or a real estate transaction, and or somebody who joins Keller Williams, which builds your wealth. My point is don't leave any conversation without a compliment, a follow-up, and at the end of the day, I mean, more than ever, your database is critical. So it's a great way to build it, recognize, reward, and either build your sales business or passive income. Especially now with K-Score, all right? We got that free real estate school for people getting in and the prep, and it's just an awesome opportunity to get talent. Can you find people to build relationships with? I would just ask everywhere. Talent is everywhere. Start the convo. We talked about this. Refer, etc. We can do this. So these are just examples, right? So insights from your team meeting. So I think when you have a powerful team meeting or a powerful speaker, bring them to that. Show them how we coach and train. If you don't know what a GPS or a 411 is, work with your work thing. These are the 4 books. I would suggest that everybody in our system reads and knows. If you don't have them yet or haven't read them, I would start with Shift, to be honest. We're right in there, in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and the One Thing, in the Millionaire Real Estate Investor. These are all national bestsellers, but it's our system, right? Gary and Jay wrote these. It's a good scripts. I think this is you just don't vomit Keller Williams. You're not recruiting them. People join because of experiences and community. People join, can they get to a model or company? Can they help me? Do they care about me? And when those happen, then they'll trust you, right? I also think it's important to think like the untouchable. People say, hey, that person will never come or join. I promise you they've never been asked. And everybody either needs more leads or they need more leverage. So we got to find a way, and we dig deep through using some of these tools and a relationship and a KPA and a needs analysis. Where is their pain? Do they need more on the sales side or the time side? And that's the end of the day. We have prescription for every diagnosis to help them get there. I mentioned this, don't say negative, etc. How does your team like to receive referrals? So as you think about your plan, just think about, hey, what's the best system here? And everybody could be a little bit different in terms of your behavior style or the people you're trying to attract. KW app, that's awesome. It's a great way to kind of send that over. Then I'll close with this, and I want to get some takeaways and ahas and what are some action items you're going to do. And Mike, anything you want to add? But I look at this, and so if you haven't read a book called Cash Flow Quadrants, written by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he basically says there's 4 ways to earn wealth in the world. Okay. Income, employee, that's the E. Self-employed is the lower left. Upper right is business owner, I is investor. And what study shows is 95% of the world operates as an employee and self-employed. So the employee is the W-2, you go to school, government, boom, you go get a raise, you pay more taxes to the government. Like, right? Like, you could think of that as in the competitive real estate industry as the traditional or old-fashioned real estate models, broker-focused, dependent brands, good companies, but that's where they live. Self-employed would be like the Remax model, good company, but it's the 100% model. Smaller monthly fees, whatever, good luck and go and sell. Well, Gary Keller, because the real estate industry by default is a self-employed industry. Y'all would agree with that. You're 1099, you're independent contractor, so to speak. This is why Gary created the company in '83, because he wanted to help our agents become business owners, think like businesses, think like CEOs. Wrote the books, all the curriculum, the training, the technology, the books on leads, listings, leverage. So when an agent plugs into our proven systems and models, and they focus on what's important, and it's lead generating for listings. And then when you get to a point, you want to build a team, and we teach you how to hire the right as admin and career visioning and through that class. What happens is it frees you up to this I quadrant where your money works for money. Cash works for cash, right? And on the B and I side, 5% of the world operate out of here, by the way. But they also earn 95% of all the net worth or income. I want y'all to think about that. 5% of the people in the world live as a business owner and an investor that receives 95% of all the world net worth. So the question I want to ask is, where are you today and where do you want to be? If you want to be over here, here's what I think of a business owner. It's like if I or you or Mike or anybody, if you could walk in one of the businesses you're involved in, if you're in multiple, or if you're in building your real estate team now currently and it's just you, could you go away for 60 to 90 days and off to Hawaii and not touch your business, not communicate, not do anything business related? And you came back from that great trip. What's happened to your organization? Has it your market share? Has it gone backwards? Do you have a business? Can you unequivocally say you can increase it? If you can, then I would classify you as you're probably in the right business owner, because you got systems and support and models and the right who. So step one is, where are you today? And then what's the action item? Some of you maybe is like, I need to get my listing inventory. I need to get sales. Go to Bold, go into your Ignite classes, go to your local market center training, get that lead gen, whatever. Some of you might be in the room today saying, I need to hire that great admin, or I need to hire that great TL, that great MC, like whatever, in terms of a market center. You might be missing a who, right? So you can spend all your day focused on lead generating for listings and working with sellers, and you got the 80% covered. But when you get down to this I quadrant, some of that will help in direct proportion to free you up in money to invest in rental property. If you want to get in the market, whatever your passion is. Mine is personally real estate. If I can be honest, I think right now, everybody in this room, if you can just go and focus and build the best real estate team you can business right now and get a plan to be cash heavy, you have an amazing opportunity ahead of you. That's where rental properties, I think it's by far, because to me, it's like owning a stock that somebody else pays for, and eventually it's going to go up and you get the write-offs, and you understand that, you're in the game. But this investor, this is where I would put profit share, because it's like running your own business, right? It's an asset. It's a business with zero risk, zero liability, and zero management responsibility. It's the best form of passive income I've ever seen because of that zero risk, that infinity return that takes a life of its own. And and I like to say this, 2 more thoughts, Mike, and then I'll close it out and let y'all, any questions or ahas, is let's just start small, okay? And let's just say in the next year, you get your profit sharing up to $1,000 a month. They may not seem big in the moment, but let's just start there. $1,000 in a month is $12,000 a year. How much do you have to have at 1% interest rate in an aggressive savings account or whatever that account looks like, saved to receive $12,000 a year in passive income? The answer is 1.2 million. So like option A, leaders and associates, is you could go save 1.2 million, put it in an account and go get that 12 grand. Option B is get a plan, new agents experienced, and what is your plan between now and the end of the year and then starting next year to attract talented new agents and productive agents into your profit share tree? I choose option B. Culturally, it's sound. There's 0 risk. It's going to be quicker, and it's the best ROI you can ever have. And the other way I look at it, and Mike, this is how I get people to think about wealth building and Keller Williams. And I'm a Cowboy fan, sorry, but I will not use them as an example. I'll keep it local because I like, I lived in the Bay Area, so this is my second favorite basketball team. But I would ask a question. I go, well, he or she, let's say I'm talking to somebody and I go, hey, what's your favorite hobby or sport or whatever? They'll say basketball. I go, awesome. Who's your favorite basketball team? Golden State Warriors. Awesome. Who's your favorite Golden State Warrior of all time? He's still playing, Steph Curry. Oh, great. Awesome. So let me ask you a question. Does Steph Curry make more money shooting 3-pointers and winning NBA finals and NBA championships? Or does he make more money in endorsements? Oh, he makes a lot more money in endorsements. I agree. So when Steph Curry chooses to retire from the game of basketball, call it 5 or 7 years, whenever that may be, when he's done with the game of basketball, will Steph Curry still make significant amount of endorsement money?
Yep.
Yes. So where's yours? See, I see you as the Steph Curry of the real estate industry or the real estate local market. And with your permission, would you be open to exploring how we can help you and your family go get your unfair share of endorsement money in this business? Awesome. Great. So is it okay? I'm going to put you with my wonderful leader, team leader, OP, and let's have a discussion of what this looks like to help, what's really important to you to help be that 5% who receives 95% of the wealth in the world over here. Awesome. Let's get started. And then you go through either the KPA, you do the needs analysis, there's 30, 30, 40, there's all these conversations that they've been trained on to help people, invite them to events to see if we can help people who live over here, but choose to want to live their life as a B in the B and I quadrant. And that's the opportunity to have you. And some people might be okay over there, and that's fine. But you have an opportunity to talk to the right people who want that. So, Mike, that's what I got, man. I want to open it up for questions, comments, ahas, takeaways. My ask of you is to take some form of action. Like, what are you going to leave today? Write it down and say, this is my plan, and share it with Mike or the Market Center lead, any leaders that are in that office today. Like, share with them your goal and commit to it. Write it down, share it, calendar it, and put into play. Because if we don't take action, or if you don't get passionate about it, we just chatted for 45 minutes, and that's fine. But I want a difference here. I want to make a difference. Thoughts, comments, questions?
Tony, I want to add to what you said, and basically looking at it from a company standpoint, Keller Williams was formed for this type of market. And you have to have that in your mind that when you reach out to a friend in a competing company, that you're not looking at it from your private perspective of building your downline. You're trying to help them
Yes.
succeed at a higher level than where they're at right now.
Yep.
And you have to think that first, and then everything else just falls in line. So it's not about you trying to improve your downline, although that's a benefit of making that action. But you're really trying to help the colleague, the associate, the friend succeed and make their life better than what it is right now that they have.
Got to come from passion, and I love that, Mike. I want to help you. I can help you. I want you to come experience this. I want to help you. We got some things here that I think will help you in your business. And the more you guys get plugged into what we already have in our systems, the more passion you're going to have about it. Like I always say, like, what's the best thing you can do to attract people? It's like, go build a great business. Like, you got all the tools right in front of you. Mike, thank you for that. Because you'll see other models come in and they lead with, oh, I want to make that, like, they're right, just kind of the wrong why. Come from your heart, come from your actual passion to help these people. Thank you for sharing that. I agree. The byproduct will be passive income for you, but you gotta, that's just the byproduct. Anybody else? Anybody wants to ask a question or off takeaway, or we're 10 minutes before, so I'd rather be early than late. But I appreciate y'all being here. Mike, is there any other thoughts on that?
Tony, we appreciate your time. Thanks for putting in an hour out of your day in Texas at 105 degrees. And sharing your time with us today. Very insightful, and I appreciate every time when we get a chance to talk to you.
Well, let's do it live next time. And hey, we got Trisha coming out. The one thing, Mike, and we're going to get you those dates. It's like mid-September.
Great.
So everybody in this room, you have a massive regional event that you can bring, obviously your own agents, but attract some great talent guests to that as well.
Awesome. Great.
All right.
Tony.
I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
y'all. Thank y'all. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.